Oh my gosh, it's Meghan Patrick.
It's me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
Big fan. So I've
Oh
been I've been a fan of your
my
music. Gosh, since I was in Alberta, so that would have been 2016, 2017, whenever Grace and Grit came out. So it's been a hot minute.
God. Love it. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate your time because good God. I would imagine things are extremely busy for you as of late on this, the eve of your new album, Golden Child, which congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just it's interesting. It's a really different feeling than I've had in the past when I've been ready to release an album. I feel very just like at peace about it. I don't usually around this time I'm feeling kind of like anxious and nervous and like that kind of doubt starts creeping in of like, oh God, are people gonna like it? And I don't really feel that way this time. I mean, one, I know that I put in absolutely everything that I could into this record. There's no question it's the best record I've ever made. And, I'm in a much better place as a human being, and I've done a lot of healing and work on myself. And honestly, that's kind of the underlying theme of the record. It's very autobiographical. It's telling my story and, digging into my deepest hurts and biggest wins and just kind of everything I've been through to get to where I am now. So
Right. And so I haven't listened to the full thing. I'm kind of waiting for tomorrow, but there are a couple of, because it's 18 tracks on this thing, right?
mhm.
And
Yep.
so the lead single Golden Child seems to be killing it in the States and here in Canada. Apparently the most added Canadian song this week. How has the reception been from fans, from your friends, from your family?
It's been incredible because really like across the board, the response has just been like, wow, this really is your best work. And again, I think it just, it took a lot of healing and work on my end to get to a place where I could start to love myself and have the confidence to make a record like this. Because I don't, I think I've always been as authentic as I was capable of being at any given time. I think every record I've made has always been very true to who I was and where I was at in that moment.
Hmm.
But there was a lot of stuff I hadn't worked through, and I was, I didn't have that confidence. I didn't love myself the way I should have back then, and I'm just, I'm in a different place now. And I think that's why I feel so at peace about this record because at this point, I've done everything that's within my control. I know that I've made a record of quality. Now, whether or not other people like it, that's out of my control. And just because it's not one person's cup of tea, I know that there
Right.
are going to be so many people that do love it. And especially my fans that have been with me from the beginning. I mean, I have fans that have been following me since like my bluegrass band, and so they've seen all of that growth and they know how much it means to me. And I know that they love what we've already released. And I know they're going to love, what they're going to hear once the record drops. So yeah, I'm really proud of it and I'm just ready to get it out in the world.
Yeah, and I think that's important too because I know it's your job. Like you are making music that you want people to enjoy, but at the end of the day, like it's your songs, right? So if you're not vulnerable in it, and if you're not happy with it, then why should anyone else
Mhm.
be? So I love that you're doing it like
Right.
for you. And
Mhm.
one of those songs that caught my attention, talking about self love and and everything, especially today. It's kind of nice that we're talking about this today because it's National World Mental Health Day.
Mhm.
Was the song "Other Side of 25."
Mhm.
Because there is this weird thing, and I don't know if you went through it too, but there's this weird thing where people like, I don't know, they freak out when their 20s are like kind of coming to an end. Like I'm well into my 30s now, right? And like
Yep.
I love it. But I love it for maybe the
Oh
weird reasons. Like I have so many excuses to not go out now. I'm in bed as
yeah.
early as I want. Like I love it. So I
Yeah.
was wondering, especially, and you were kind of touching on it already about like the songs you wrote back in 2016 is who you were then, and now you're writing songs now. It's because who you are now. So career wise, or even just in your everyday life, what are just I guess some of the benefits of getting older?
Well, I think probably my favorite line in the song is "Don't give a but I give a damn." Or I don't know if I can say that word on your your thing,
I
but
know. I'm trying to censor myself because I have a potty
yeah,
mouth.
same. And I think really what that means is just like, I just don't care about the things that I don't need to, but I care deeply about the things that matter. And it's just getting to a place of again confidence in yourself where it's like, hey, you know what? If you don't like me, that's fine, but that doesn't make me like myself any less because you
Mhm.
cannot make everyone like you. You cannot make everyone understand you. And I have spent so much of my life trying to do that, and it's exhausting, and it does a number. And to be fair too, like earlier in my career, there were a lot of things that I was being told by the people around me who turned out to not be such great people, like don't tell people how old you are. Or even, when I would go down to Nashville and we're trying to get a US record, don't tell people you're from Canada. And it's like, that really does a
Really?
number. Yeah. And it's like, and that's coming from other Canadians. And I think that is like an issue that
Huh.
kind of runs rampant through the Canadian industry as a whole, which I mean, you look at the radio charts and everything, and it's now so rare that a Canadian artist gets like a true number one or is at the
Right.
top of the charts. And it just kind of really does a number on you when you're being made to feel like there's something inherently wrong with you because of like where you were born and how long you've been on this earth. I have no control over either of those things. And
Right.
I would actually I would argue in terms of the age thing, I think that I'm more valuable as a songwriter and as an entertainer and as a musician at 37 than I was at 27 because I've lived a lot of life. I've honed in my skills and I have more to say. I have a lot of introspection and retrospection and wisdom that I've kind of picked up along the way. So I actually feel that I am peaking more now than I ever have in my career and creatively.
And I love that. I love that you're saying that because I want to ask you something. This is kind of a little off topic, but you were talking just embracing your because I know you have dual citizenship and you're embracing, yourself as a Canadian. You
Mm-hmm.
have a lot to be thankful for this Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Just out of curiosity, because I know you're married to the very talented Mitchell Tenpenny. Has he has he embraced any of your like silly Canadian quirks? Like, do you get to have two Thanksgivings? Does he enjoy poutines?
Well, actually, Mitchell is actually in Canada right now. He's been on tour there. I know they played in Montreal. I think they're still maybe in Quebec. I actually am not sure. I'm not sure where he is right now, but I know he's in Canada.
He's
And
somewhere.
yeah, he was in my, he was actually at my old stomping grounds because I went to McGill and I was like, okay, you got to get some poutine. And
Oh
he
hell yeah!
also is now a big fan of sharp cheddar craft dinner, which you can't get in the U.S. And
Oh really?
I've already asked him. Yes, you can get craft dinner, but not that flavor, and it's the best flavor, and you can only get it in Canada. And so I've already asked him to stock up the bus with sharp cheddar KD for me.
That's so funny. How many boxes are you asking for him to get?
I was like, what? As much as you can fit, like stock up, you know.
I love that. And going back to the album Golden Child, something that really I need to tell you that I absolutely because I'm a big No Doubt fan. No, I think it was No
Mhm.
Doubt Greatest Hits. I think that was my first album I ever bought.
Yeah,
So when I saw it, because I first of all, I love your cover of Just a Girl, like love, love, love it.
thank you.
And I originally saw the post on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's cool. She did a little cover of. I thought nothing of it. I enjoyed it. I was like, that's
Hmm.
cool. I had no
Yeah,
idea I was going to be on the album, and so I saw that, and so I kind of because I was given access to the full album, I was like, I'm not going to listen to it until it's out, and then I saw the note. I was like, well, I got to listen to that. Um,
yeah.
First of all, you absolutely killed it because covers aren't always easy, but you definitely
Mhm.
made it sound like like it sounds like a Meghan Patrick song. So I'm curious where I don't know the No Doubt Love came from, and did you have a hard time because Gwen Stefani has a very distinct voice? Did you have a hard time like making it your own? Did you ever find yourself slipping into like almost like a Gwen Stefani impersonation at all while you were recording it? Because like no one sounds like Gwen Stefani, right?
Well, I think yeah, totally. Well, I think for me, I've been covering that song since I was 13 years old.
Oh,
So
really?
that was, that was part of why I wanted to put it on the record, because the record is so autobiographical and kind of telling my story. When I was like 13, I was in my first band. We were called the Sirens. And I remember I went and saw No Doubt live. It was the first female artist I ever saw live. And
Mm.
she was so incredible. She was such a great entertainer. And I was so enamored with her. So after that, we kind of became like almost like a No Doubt cover band because we loved the song so much. And we used to play that song, and everyone I've kind of whipped out that cover here and there over the years. And every time I did, people always loved it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, because it's sort of part of my story from where I started with my first band. And I also just think, the lyrics and everything about it, it's such a timeless song, and it's still so relevant today. And I think a really, really poignant in terms of just being a woman, like in the industry and in country music. I just think that the lyrics and everything still resonate with me and other women so much. And so, yeah, when we went into the studio, I think it was really important to not stray so far from the original, because
Hmm.
the original is so good. It's magic. But we were going to put a little bit of my own twist on it. And so I said, okay, it's still going to be like No Doubt, but like sprinkle some Johnny Cash in there. And then I'm just going to sing it the way I would sing it. So it honestly, it came together really organically. I mean, as soon as the band started playing that whole thing, I was like, okay, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. And I just went in and sang live off the floor with the band, and we had a blast doing it. It was awesome.
Yeah, like I said, you killed it. I'm a big No Doubt fan, and like I said, like it really sounds like a Megan Patrick song, which is what I love about it. And I feel like covers are hard though, because like a lot of the time, I mean, my girlfriend said, because anytime I'm in the car and I'm trying to sing it, anyone that comes on, my girlfriend has pointed out to me where she's like, if it's a Megan Patrick song, you try to sing it like Megan Patrick. If it's a Linkin
Yeah,
Park song, you try to sing it like Chester Bennington. So like, so
yeah.
anyone who can successfully pull off a cover, I'm just like, geez, the talent you have is like, it's unbelievable to me.
Well, thank
And I
you.
also wanted to touch on too, because you were talking about how this album is almost like almost like a documentary of everything you've gone through. You also recorded a docu series,
Mhm.
almost of like the golden child's birth, I suppose is what you could call it. Where can
Yeah.
people watch that? And was whose idea was it to kind of record like the writing process?
So that was kind of the brainchild of Ward Fairchild, who is the director. He's been the photographer and videographer, director for a lot of my music videos and album covers over the last couple years. And we were talking and brainstorming. Okay, like how do we move into this next like chapter and really do it upright? Because not only were we trying to continue building and maintaining the fan base that I've built in Canada, but we're now introducing me to a whole new audience in the US and going to the radio in the US. And so Ford had just said, he's like, I just feel like people just need to know the real you. He's like,
Mm.
I just want to like follow you around with a camera and just make like a documentary. And I just think people, if we could do that, like people would just fall in love with you. And I was like, wait, are you serious? He's like, yeah, no, I want to do that. And so I talked to my manager, and between all of us, we basically came up with a whole, pitch and plan for what we wanted to do, and took it to the label. And Jennifer Johnson, she's the president of my label, and I mean, she was amazing. The whole team was just like, okay, this is big. This is a big undertaking. This is a lot, but we came super prepared. We had it all laid out and how we wanted to do it. And I just said, like, look, if I'm going all in on this album, and if we're gonna do it, like let's do it up. Let's do something cool and different. And so yeah, I've had cameras on me a lot in the last year, and
Hmm.
which was definitely a little bit, it took some getting used to for me, but mostly, because they're people that I love and I'm so comfortable around it, I was able to just kind of be myself, and they just would capture it on camera. And the making of this album has truly been the best experience of my career. And so regardless of what it does for me, commercially and with fans and everything,
Hmm.
I'm so glad that I was able to document this whole process, and that's something I'm always going to have forever. And I think it's a great kind of partner to go with the album. I've been saying, if you really want to know me, listen to the album. And then if you want to know me even more, go watch the docu-series because they kind of go hand in hand. And I think it just takes you even more in depth behind the making of the album and the songs.
Mm. Well, congratulations again on all the success. I mean, it's been hard earned for you. You've earned every second of the success you've gotten. Oh, before I let you go, I want to ask you because I told my girlfriend I was like over the weekend. I said, "Yeah, I get to talk with Meghan Patrick next week," and I'm going to have to edit this out if it's not true, because she told me, and this probably would have been ages ago now, but she said, "Oh yeah, Meghan Patrick. She recorded with my dad." Like, what the hell are you
Wait,
talking about? Her dad is
who's your
Paul
dad?
Thompson. He owned a sound studio in Vaughan, Ontario. Does that sound familiar?
Yes. Like, okay, wait.
Or did she
Is
set
this
me up?
no, no. Sorry. And please, I have a horrible memory. If it's, I'm trying to think, was this like through the KX96 like song competition thing or
Couldn't tell you. I just mentioned your name and yeah, she's like, yeah, she asked her about Scott and Paul Thompson at it was called the Sound Studio in Vaughan, Ontario. I was like, I'll ask.
yeah, no, I mean I am sure that she's 100% right. I'm trying to think because I didn't make like an album with them, but I'm trying to think
No.
what I would have been recording. It was either the KX96 contest thing that I won like years and years and years ago, or it
Yeah.
could have been I did have to record like an audition tape when I was applying for university because I was
Oh,
applying to like study opera. So it could have been my I have
something as
honestly,
simple
yeah,
as that.
you'll have to ask her when that was.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to I'm picking my brain. I also I haven't had much sleep, so my memory is shot
No,
right now, but
I
I'm sure she is correct.
yeah, and I mean, like this would have been because God, time flies, right? Grace and Grit. When was that? 2016, 2017. That was like
Yeah,
whole album.
feels like
So this Vaughn Studio would have been probably, oh God, what, before 2010 or earlier.
yeah,
So it's been a hot minute, I'm
yeah,
sure, but humble beginnings, right?
yes, absolutely.
But okay, I could talk to you for another hour, but I know you're very busy. So I just want to say congratulations again on the new album Golden Child. I can't wait to listen for the full thing myself. I can't wait for the world to hear it, and keeping my fingers crossed that maybe we'll see you up north again sometime soon.
I would love that, and if I can, I will just say if you're able, I've been asking everybody if you're going to listen to the record, listen top to bottom in one sitting. There's a lot of
Oh yeah,
intention behind the order of it, and it is an experience. So
and
I hope you love it.
yeah, oh, I'm sure I will. And you know what? Those are the best albums too. Those albums where like each song will complement the next. So those are my favorite. I because I don't really like just to do. Oh, here are the singles. Like if I'm listening, I go like top bottom. Especially for
Yep,
that first listen. Oh, you have to.
absolutely. I agree.
Awesome, Megan. Well, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much for your
much.
time. Good, congratulations and good luck with the rest of the tour and the album release.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. Bye, Megan.
Bye.